What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, it is appreciated, and today we are once again working on the Q50. So the things I'm going to be working on today, at least the first one, is as I've been building clears for other people and all these have been looking really good, it's made me pretty upset about my own because I've just haven't taken care of them. So at first the edge was painted black, and then I decided to just paint it silver, but I didn't sand the black, I didn't clear it or anything, and now it just honestly looks really bad. And as these are the first set of Q50 lights that I made, they're the reason why people are sending me and Jonathan their lights and everything else. I want them to look at least better. Eventually I do want to either create brand new lenses, because we've gotten much better at doing so since that set, or just clear a set of skyline tails, which I think is what I really want to do. But for now, I'm at least going to clean up the edges and make them look nicer. So let's go ahead and get those off, and I got to test fit these guys anyways. So all I'm doing for mine currently is taking some Goo Gone and just removing all the old paint. I will say too, for this being the first set that we ever made, like looking at it, it's pretty freaking even. Like it might not look the greatest to you guys, but we made these with like out having any lenses on them and just formed them like with the roundness, and still really happy with how these look. Could make them better, could make them look like these guys, but still really happy with it. Also, in case you're interested on what the other set ended up looking like on the car, test fitting is complete, customer called, and he is ready to get his lights. A few days later, but my Q50 lights have been repainted and put back on the car. Again, I apologize I didn't show too much, but really trying to get orders out. We had like 4 orders of taillights all come in at the same time. So happy that these are once again looking decent. But the next thing that we are going to be fixing on the Q is my brake pads. My brakes have been screaming for a little bit, and I honestly haven't been looking super forward to changing out my brake pads. It's a relatively easy job, obviously, but last time I did it, a bolt snapped and it like left my Q stranded for like 3 days, became this giant ordeal. It was just a huge pain that I really don't feel like dealing with again. Shouldn't happen again, hopefully, but we're gonna get these brake pads changed out and help like just the basic maintenance of the Q. All right, first one done. On to the next 3. Just wanted to give a quick little tip in case you guys aren't aware of this already and you're ever changing the brakes on your car. When you're changing them and you need to compress this, if you don't have the proper tool to go ahead and compress that in, just grab a caulking gun and use that to compress it. Works every time. I swear this car looks super goofy when it's aired up all the way, but brakes are put back in. Q50 is officially safe and not squeaking anymore. Now that the brakes are done, we are going to be moving on to the next part of the car, which is actually some performance stuff. So a while back, a buddy of mine who had a Q50, recently got a BMW, had these fuel injectors for sale. He actually sold them to me for $50, which was a crazy good price. So we're gonna get these installed, as well as an intake, or a couple intakes that I bought for the car as well. Fortunately, battery died before we took them out, but intakes have been taken off. Obviously, we could stop there and throw the new intakes on, but we're gonna go ahead and remove this guy, get in deeper, and get the injectors done. Hopefully they don't like be a pain to replace or anything like that. Sweet, now that's off, we got the fuel rail, so we just need to get this guy off. I think this hard line we need to remove, pull the fuel line, and then from there, we're good. All the old fuel injectors are out, time to put the new ones in. Everything is back on here, so now new intakes taken out, nice and shiny, excited to get these in. Yesterday we ended up getting pretty busy. I had to rush to try and finish this. The intakes were giving us a hard time because of the like tubing wasn't lighting up. So I had to like rush to do that. We had a place to go afterwards, so I just put it all back together, left, didn't really get to test it or anything or really wrap up the video from yesterday. However, we're back in it again, and turns out I didn't do more research when installing these parts. The intakes look good, they work. The problem comes with the injectors. So I bought them from a buddy of mine, like I said, who had a Q50. I didn't know the brand or anything. I just knew I was getting a good deal on them, which I did. The issue is I didn't get to read a description beforehand, and it turns out that you need a tune after you get them installed, which I'm planning on tuning the Q50 anyways after I throw this on, the intakes and exhaust. And the injectors, I was planning on tuning it just so it ran, performed better, and I can get as much horsepower out of it as possible. I didn't know that I needed to get it tuned immediately, because right now it's idling funny. It almost doesn't want to start anytime I hit the button to turn it on, and it's just causing issues. So I'm gonna actually have to take everything apart that we did yesterday, reinstall my stock injectors until I am ready to actually get this tuned. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna undo all the work that we did, put the new intakes back on at least, and then at least we have this part done. All right, next up for the Q50, we're gonna be fixing the trunk setup. So honestly, it's looked like this for a while now. Year, 2 years ago, I took the Q snowboarding, and while we were on our way over there, I got a flat tire, so I had to rip out the spare, which is sitting over there. And since then, the tiles that I put in have just not been great. So I do want to go ahead and completely take this out and redo the tiles and make it look nice again, because this used to look really good and now it's just beat up and not ideal. So I'm gonna go ahead and trace out the carpet, cut out what I need, and then I can go ahead and start the next step of it, which is repainting my tank, just because I don't love the way that it looks currently. Put on the new sticky tiles that I got, which are a slightly different color than the ones I originally had, and just putting everything back together to make it look way better than what it did. Some finessing, but got the base all set up. Now that this is done, I can go ahead and take out the sticky tiles, lay them over the base, and then retrace out the shape that I need for those guys. After the hour, 2 hours of measuring, cutting, all the really annoying bits about this is finally good to go. So now I just need to take this guy, put it up against it so I can mark all the holes where everything needs to go, and then from there it should be pretty much good to put back in, bolt everything up where it needs to go, and trunk setup should be complete. It is a process. Took me to 11 to get everything bolted up, but everything's put back together and the trunk setup is looking much better than what it did before. Here's how we're looking. Hopefully it looks okay with the shadows and the lighting and everything currently, but I think it looks way better than what it did previously. The tile looks honestly really good. I like that I don't have a seam straight down the middle, and obviously it's not all beat up like with the way the carpet was. And although it's not the fanciest thing, the silver tank is just kind of basic and the color is nothing crazy, I think it's just a clean, simple trunk setup that looks good if I ever need to pop the trunk for any reason, but I can still utilize my trunk as a trunk. I don't take the Q out to shows or anything. I might start doing it a little more often, but if I do, then I have it nicely done, but it doesn't need to be anything crazy like my 350 or anything like that. I just wanted it to look nicer. The last few pieces have finally come in to wrap up my Q50 and just get it to a point that I'm really happy with. Some new rear aero pieces. So these ones are more expensive than the ones that I have, but also will fit this a lot better. They go from here, cover this entire area, and will just look better all together with the side splitters that I have on, and the other part that's in here, which is a new rear diffuser. This one, of course, with the little brake light, which is gonna look much better. I didn't mind the last one that I had on either, but when Yaz was using my car, it fell off somewhere. So I needed a new one anyways, and then with those new side pieces, this new rear diffuser, I think it's all gonna look really good. I don't know just yet if we're gonna clear this extra brake light that it comes with. We might just smoke it out first and see how that looks, because clearing it might be too much of a process, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. However, I'm not throwing these on just yet. I'm actually going to drop these off to Gilberto, who painted my car, and he's going to spray paint these black to match all the other aero that I have on, and it's not just this, glossy color, which isn't bad, but it's always better to just go and get it actually painted. Which is, we finally got an exhaust for my Q50. It's nothing too crazy. It is just an Axleback exhaust. I didn't want it to be too loud or anything, as I still show houses in this car in daylight pretty often. But I just wanted something to be a little bit louder, look a little bit nicer, and I think this is going to do just that. So we're going to start the process of actually installing this, and then I'll go ahead and throw a before and after of what the car sounded like without the exhaust and with the exhaust. Just so you can see the size difference in the mufflers. Obviously, big difference. Excited to see how this sounds, but obviously looks much better. New Axleback exhaust is installed. It looks a little funny from here going back because all that's old and rusty and this is nice and polished. Plus you have like tons of room up here now. But it looks way better under there, and just from here having the nice polished tip sticking out. This mixed with the rear diffuser is going to look really good. And now that we're finished with that, we're going to drop the car back down and we can do the sound test. Honestly, this is the perfect amount of loud. It's like just loud enough, still sounds really good, doesn't sound like trumpety or anything. Plus on the inside, you really can't hear it because it's the back side of it, so you don't get like a lot of drone or anything. So far, it sounds really good. I'm happy with it. It is finally time to finish the video on the Q50. This video has been done over the past like 2 months of just getting everything done and taken care of. But we got the diffuser back painted from Gilberto, so shout out to him for getting that done for me. So now we get to install that to finish up everything else that we've done in this video. Okay, diffuser officially wired up to the taillights. We got the little side fins on. Now we just need to put this actually up to the car, and then I can show you what it looks like on and just fully working with the light and everything all done. Diffuser is also now officially on. And with all that, the Q50 is pretty much complete. Alright guys, and that is going to be it for the Q50 content in this video. This video has been done over the past couple months, but she is officially like fully done to where I envisioned her when I bought her about 4 or 5 years ago. Now of course there is other things that I could do, like multi-piece wheels and fenders and make her faster and get a tune and all this other stuff, but when I bought this car I set out to have a goal of building the cleanest car that I possibly could on a budget, which for the most part, yeah, I've dumped more money into it than I think I initially wanted, but between getting the bags from Buddy, getting the wheels from Jonathan, getting like Gilbert to help me with the paint and everything else, like this build hasn't cost me as much as it should for as good as it looks. And I'm just so happy with how far the car has come, how far like my vision of it is, and I'm just happy that everything came together for it to be where it is. I have truly loved owning this car over the past 4 or 5 years, and it has just been awesome to build it and to finally get it to the spot where I wanted it to be. If for some reason this sounds like a goodbye, it's because it kind of is. This isn't just the end of the Q content for this video. It might just be the end of the Q content going forward, but that's going to be an update for another video. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.